The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu said this, and as it was, I took my first step 4 years ago, boarding a train to get to know all I could in my own backyard, Malaysia. I've seen faces, and I've been to places. Much like the little engine that could, I went with the motto, I think I can, I think I can. You know what? I know I can. The train ended up not only being my choice of transport to discover new territories, but becoming the vehicle for me to be the little engine that makes it to Japan. Yatta! A country rich with culture, honor, advancement, and natural wonders. It's the land of the rising sun. I'm Henry Golding, and I'm getting on the tracks as Japan bids welcome to the Railworld. The land of the rising sun. Populated by about 127 million, Japan is the third largest economy in the world and easily evokes the image of a strong dedication to cultural reverence mingling with the vast technological modernities. I've always been mystified by all of Japan, and with its reputation of having railroad systems that are rivaled by no other in the world, I feel convinced that my country of choice this time automatically gives me a great upper hand. Getting in from Kuala Lumpur, my point of entry is Tokyo, but I'm saving this city for later because what would a true exploration be if I didn't try to cover more than just the country's capital? So I think I'll kick off with the most northern of Japan's 4 main islands, Hokkaido, and head southwards to the regions of Tohoku and Kanto. Then make my way to Shikoku and Kyushu, making sure that I don't miss out on Okinawa. On second thoughts, I think I'll take my time in sorting my journey out, and in the meantime, travel where the wind and the train tracks take me. For the most part, I'll be going through the rest of the country via railway, but I'm choosing to fly into Hokkaido's Memanbetsu Airport, but once in Hokkaido, I'll venture around the entire island and get from one place to another aboard the trusted train lines of Japan. Welcome to Hokkaido! Just took a flight into Memanbetsu Airport, sat next to a pretty crazy guy. He was waffling away and he taught me something, and it was a saying. It went, it's better to travel hopeful than to arrive disenchanted. Well, that actually doesn't make much sense because the people are great, the weather is awesome, super sunny, and of course I'm gonna meet my friend who I haven't seen for ages. Her name's Suri. She should be waiting for me. Hokkaido native Suri is a talented model who enjoys the beach and horse riding.
Hey, hey!
Konnichiwa!
Hey,
how are you? It's been too long. How's it been? How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Very good. Sri tells me that my initiation to Hokkaido has to blow me away. So we depart the airport via train from Nishimemanbatsu Station to Kawaii Onsen Station, arriving to indeed a sight of cobalt beauty. This beautiful plain of water here is called Lake Kusharo. Now, it's a caldera, or it lies within a caldera, and calderas are formed when land collapses due to volcanic activity, and lo and behold, this is left.
Yeah, there's a mythology, the monster living under the water. And I'll show you something special about this lake, not the monster, something else, so let's go.
All right, that sounds good. Lake Kusharo, or Kusharoko in Japanese, is the largest body of unsalted water in all of Hokkaido, with a circumference of 57 kilometers. There are active hot springs beneath the lakebed of Kusharoko, but with these spades that we've borrowed from the nice man here, it doesn't seem like we're going for a swim. So what in the world is Suri up to? Right, we're gonna... The sand springs of Lake Kusharo are rich in restorative properties like sodium iron that are believed to be good for your skin. As we dip our feet into this warm spring from the sand, Sri tells me that the temperature of the lake water is comparatively far lower. After soaking our feet for a while longer, Sri takes me to the nearby Ainu Kotan on the shore of Lake Akan. The Ainu are a minority native group in Japan, with most of them now being of mixed blood. To my privilege, though, we meet Debo-san, who explains to me on what draws the interest of foreign and Japanese visitors to their culture.
Debo-san, this place is so fascinating. There's so many little shops. It's just really beautiful to see. Why do people come to visit Ainu Kotan?
日本においてはアイヌって先住民。
In Japan, like Ainu is a
それで言葉も違うし、
and they have like different language.
アイヌ文様とか踊りとか
The
歌
marks,
特徴があるのね。
They have their own culture.
でこういう店で売ってるものもオリジナルのアイヌの商品が多いの
What they
ね。
have in those shops, they're really original.
Yeah.
でそういう違ったものにお客さんって触れたいのね。それでみんな来てくれる。
And so they gather here. なんか大きいお祭りがあるって聞いたんですけど、
アイヌのね、一番そうだなメジャーなお祭りっていうのは熊のイオマンテかな。
イオマンテ。
アイヌって昔からこうハンティングしてたね。
はい。
それで冬の山行って、穴で冬眠している熊を取るわけさ。でその場合ね、メスだったら赤ちゃんの熊がいる場合だよね。それは殺さないの山で。で村に連れて帰ってきて1年半から2年間大事に育てるわけ。でもいずれは天の国にいるお父さんお母さんに子熊を返さなきゃいけない。だけど毛皮と肉と熊の胃っていう薬になるのは村にお土産で置いてってもらう。で魂だけをこう送り返す。
そういうお祭り。
そうで魂を送り返すときに盛大にお礼を言って送り返す。
お葬式みたいな感覚のお祭りなんですね。
It's interesting how the Ainu are reminiscent of the indigenous groups in Malaysia. I can see some shared similarities, especially with my own heritage of the Iban. Listening to how proud Debo-san is of his people's heritage, Sri and I decide to have a go at making one of Ainu's artisanal offerings.
ムックリというのはこういう楽器なんですけれども、世界各地の少数民族に伝わる楽器なんですけれども、アイヌ民族に伝わるこのムックリという楽器はこういう紐で弾くタイプのものでちょっと珍しいタイプのものです。多くの少数民族の、伝わるものは指で弾くタイプが多いんですけれども、こういう紐で弾くタイプというのは珍しいものです。ちょっと鳴らしてみますね。この元々のこういう、響いている音を口の中で反響させる楽器なんですけれども。
Our sensei says there's no musical scale while playing the mukuri, but with your throat muscle you can coax the instrument to emit variations in sound depending on your tongue position and by the amount of air you inhale or exhale.
力はいらないかな。
Very tough.
すごい。
Robot.
すごい。
ありがとうございます。
Not a bad first try, I think, but perhaps it's best to see how the experts do it. Since ancient times, the Ainu have had a great respect for the environment, and this is reflected by their traditional music and dances. One is called Korimuse, or the arrow dance, which depicts a hunter so mesmerized by a bird's beauty that he forgets to shoot it. Naturally, Sri and I jump at the first chance to participate in the dancing. Feeling a strong connection with their traditions, arts and beliefs, this visit to Ainu Kotan struck a special chord within me. I was full about leaving, but Sri assures there is more to come.
So, since we're in Akan area, why don't we go to Akanko for a boat ride?
Akanko, that's the lake, right?
Yeah, that's
that
the lake.
That sounds good. Where are we going to go?
Well, you'll see. So.
Oh, okay. So I'll wait and find out.
Let's
right.
go.
The Akan National Park is one of the two oldest national parks in Hokkaido, and also the namesake of this lake where Sri and I board a cruiser. We head to Churaumi Island, one of the 4 islands on Lake Akan, on which Sri promises we'll find something peculiar. Our short journey to Churaumi offers a spectacle of untouched greenery with lines of ezo pine and fir trees, which to me is a gorgeous enough treat.
Oh, Now these are the famous moss balls. They're found in Lake Akan. Now they take between 5 to 9 years to grow, and they've spawned off all of these cartoon characters because who could not love them? Look how cute they are.
First discovered in 1897, no other moss ball in the world grows as large as the marimo found in Lake Akan. It's not surprising really why they chose to appreciate the marimo, as it's a fascinating ecological wonder. And I'm happy that Sri suggested it to cap my first day here in Hokkaido. It's a beautiful morning, and I can't wait to see what else Hokkaido has in store. Sri and I travel to BA Town, where the landscape lies that can only be described as picturesque.
Feels like we've just been transported to Rainbow Road or something. Doesn't even look like Japan actually, with all this farmland and patchwork kind of countryside. Almost looks like somewhere in the UK.
Well, this small town is called Bie, and we're about 25 kilometers southeast of Asahiyama City.
Right.
And much like where we were yesterday, Bie also lies on volcanic ashland.
This place is amazing.
Not only is the panoramic flower garden a sight for sore eyes, there is a fusion of fragrances permeating the air on Shikasai no Oka.
Do you know what these ones are?
Keito.
Keito.
Keito. Yes.
Keito.
Yes. Right.
Chicken head.
Yeah, chicken.
The flowers here change with the season, and as we leave, I make it a point to return one day when it snows to see the hills turn into a wintry wonderland. From BA Hill's kaleidoscopic colours, a short drive away takes us to a concentration of pure azure.
Believe it or not, this bafflingly blue pond was actually created by man. It was an accident. They were building a dam around the area to stop some of that volcanic activity disintegrating some of this land. A photographer so happened to come across what looked to be just something that came from the heavens, something so beautiful. What's the name of this place again?
It's Aoi Ike in Japanese. Aoi is blue.
Aoi, yeah.
Ike is pond.
It's fascinating. You can sort of see where the water has risen, and what's left of the forest is still standing with these kind of whitish trees. It looks quite haunting, actually.
Adding to BA Hill, I tell Suri that the whimsical trees around Blue Pond chalk up another point for Hokkaido's flora, and she responds with a suggestion for a bit of fauna.
Here we are. This is the #1 zoo in Japan. It's even more popular than Abeno Zoo in Tokyo.
Really?
So you can find Hokkaido's wildlife in original environment.
Well, that's cool. Actually, zoos are one of my favorite places because we don't have many sort of animals over in Malaysia at all. So I'm looking forward to the polar bear because I hear they have one.
There.
Asahiyama Zoo was opened in 1967 and houses about 120 species, including the grand polar bears.
All just to see the polar bears. And the polar bears' lunchtime or breakfast time, depending on what time he usually wakes up, is about to start.
There are 3 female polar bears and 1 male here, all of which were bred in captivity.
Wow.
You would never think an animal that size could swim so gracefully, but this polar bear pulls it off. Oh, she's going down again. It's like a little submarine, like a hairy submarine.
From the giants of the North Pole, we pay a visit to Asahiyama's resident that, well, let's just say is closer to home for me.
These guys originally are from my country, so fellow countrymen.
Your country?
Yes.
That's why they look exactly like you.
Really?
Really.
I'm less hairy and a lot less orange.
Well, cheap shots aside, Sri introduces me to Bando-san, who tells me why the orangutans in this zoo are special.
So why was it important for the people here and Malaysia to come together and support the orangutans?
僕ら日本で暮らしてるっていうのは、例えばパームオイルとかその熱帯雨林の熱帯雨林剤ですよね。木材なんかもすごくお世話になってるんですよね、マレーシアに。そのことが原因でオランウータンとかね、例えばボルネオゾウとかそういう動物たちがいなくなろうとして絶滅に向かってるっていう現実があるから、その動物園で、うちの動物園にもボルネオランウータンがいてね、そのオランウータンのふるさとに何か返してあげようっていうことで。
From hippopotamuses, lesser pandas, wolves and leopards to kingly lions bathing in sun rays. It really is amazing to see these creatures do their thing in an environment that closely mimics their natural homes. Sri certainly makes good on wowing me with Asahiyama Zoo, so I think I'll buy her dinner in return. Now for some reason we're both feeling peckish for raw fish.
I've seen from the flowery hills to the whimsical wildlife of Hokkaido, and I'm ready for something more physically exerting. Taking the train to Shiretoko Station, Suri and I arrive at the northeastern tip of Hokkaido Island.
Now all of this actually is Shiretoko National Park. Back in 2005 it was considered a UNESCO Heritage Park, and it's got some beautiful mountain ranges deeper into the park itself. But the best way to explore the coastline is actually by the kayak, which I hope you brought your arms for, because we're going to be paddling all day now, okay?
But Henry, did you know Shiretoko is Ainu phrase, which means far corner of the earth?
Far corner of the earth.
Yes.
Whoa.
You know a park is legit when its rangers present safety briefings for visitors, especially when the park is home to the country's largest brown bear population. Suri and I learned that a hike up this Mount Shari offers a magnificent view of the Sea of Okhotsk. But would we have experienced all of this?
Now we've just come around the corner and we've lost sight of the main road, and it feels like we've just been thrown back in time to the Jurassic period. We've got this beautiful cliff formed by ancient glaciers just chipping away after millions and millions of years. You see that big hole there? That's due to the magma that hasn't really set, because all of this is actually volcanic rock. And now there's some beautiful starlings coming in and out. There's eagles everywhere, and just to think that actually this is a short train ride away from a huge city. Look at the scale of this thing. Absolutely humongous! What's the waterfall called?
It's called Otokoro Namida, which is tears of a man.
I think the most amazing thing, the most visible feature about this is where the water's been eroding that rock away. It's got this sort of curve to the cliff face, and that's only going to get even curvier as time goes on, because that water is going to keep running and keep wearing down that rock.
I'm sure mountain trekking would have been awesome. Nonetheless, we're pleased that kayaking has gotten up close with these glacial falls. Speaking of which, Sri seems inspired on where to take me next.
Henry, this is the place.
This is it?
Yep. Do you like animated movies?
They're fun, they always have a good ending, and yeah, I do like them.
You know, there's a popular one that I really love, and I think you'll know what it is when you get in there.
Inside here?
Yeah, inside there.
You're always so mysterious, Sri.
We're invited to wear overcoats to prevent us from being frozen. So it's pretty clear what movie Sri was referring to. But I wonder why we're given these cloths though.
Don't drop yours. Maybe this is important. You have pink on.
Okay, pink is mine.
Are you ready?
You ready?
Are you ready? I'm ready.
Oh my god!
3,
Let's survive through, okay?
1, go! Oh, look at this cave. I'm gonna have to put my hood on. It is too cold in here. All of these icicles just freezing. Minus 20 degrees, and it looks like this. Look at that. Solid. Ooh.
It's so small.
Oh my, oh my.
At the Ice Pavilion in Kamikawa, you can experience Hokkaido's true winter conditions, even out of season.
Ready?
Yeah, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
From experiencing icy wind blasts to playing winter sports. Well, sort of.
I never knew a big freezer could be so much fun. My gosh, that was really good. That was
yeah.
really good. One more time. Let's go! Oh my god, my cheeks. Have you noticed our cloths?
Yeah, I noticed it.
They're like solid. We can almost play. Look at that.
Wow,
it's so
this is so
cold.
hard.
Then actually, these little wet cloths have frozen solid.
Wow.
Where is the hat? Oh, I brought some lunch. I don't know if you're hungry, but
Lunch?
Yeah,
Lunch?
I thought you
What
might get
lunch?
hungry in here because we got you some bananas, you see.
Look at this.
They're so hard.
Banana.
Check this out. You can knock nails into wood.
Right. Look at this.
Oi! I broke it.
See? Oh, you broke it. Your lunch is gone.
It's not. Sri,
Yep.
Hokkaido has been awesome only because you showed me around.
Oh, great.
So thank you
great,
so
great,
much.
Great. So,
Time for me to go.
enjoy your rest of the trip.
Thank you very
and,
much.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Bye.
Great. Thank you so much. Bye.
Suri's company sure has made for a wonderful travel around Hokkaido, but it's time I take the training wheels off. Today I'm thinking something along the lines of sweating it out and thawing all the ice remnants between my joints.
Kyushu Shitsugen was designated a national park back in 1987. Now, back then it was one of the newer parks in Japan, and the wetlands here are spread over 18,000 hectares, and they're found between Kyushu City and Aka National Park. Now, you can either travel by the trails, which finds you going through the roots of many trees and beautiful forests, or you can travel by the lake and by the rivers.
Shitsugen means wetland or marshes, and Kyushu's is one that covers over 180 square kilometers.
Just meandering through this river is, gosh, I don't know, such an amazing experience. The river itself is super flat. This is Alikanai River, and it heads towards Kyushu River. And so we've been blessed with a beautiful day. Such a pleasure to be out in the open. Sometimes you sort of really forget that being in a city is great and all, but this is kind of what you're missing out on, this tranquility, the sound of nothing, just water splashing, really.
There is diversity in the wildlife inhabitants of Kyushu Shitsugen, including that deer that I just saw. But this park is most known for attracting birdwatchers from around the world.
Up in the rafters, just there of that tree, is a huge eagle just resting, cleaning its feathers and waiting for something to pounce on. That is massive. That wingspan probably is about 2 meters long. And he's just sitting there roosting. Now, just over there is another deer. This time I think she must be female because there's no big antler that I can see. She's just grazing right by the river edge.
After canoeing, my guide suggests that I emulate the Ojirowashi, or white eagle that we caught a glimpse of earlier, and head to the Hoso Oka Observatory Point for a bird's eye view of the Kyushu Shitsugen National Park.
Pristine and abundant with natural resources, plenty of those of course, Hokkaido is simply breathtaking. It has been an amazing journey here, but it's not the end of my destination of course. I've got to move on. I've got plenty of Japan to explore, so I will see you at the next stop.
With one sweeping look of the land spread out, I take a step back and make my way to leave this beautiful prefecture. My exploration of Hokkaido might have seemed brief, but I got to mingle with the friendly folks of the indigenous Ainu tribe, traverse the sea and rivers to commune with nature, and bask in the beauty of 50 shades of blue. I can't believe I'm only at the start of my journey through Japan. Plenty more to go.
Next week on Welcome to the Railworld Japan.
Traveling by the very famous Japan bullet train. Amazing. Very lucky indeed to painting one of the Kokeshi dolls. Now I love my Japanese cuisine.